Welcome, welcome, guys. This is your boy Jai Raja. This is Question Everything with Jai Raj. I want to welcome you all to a beautiful, beautiful day, a beautiful episode. I am so excited that I have you all here with me. This is one of my favorite times of the week. We all get together, we all vibe in, we elevate, we feel our spirits. Man, come one, come all. Let's get recharged, baby. So, what's on tap for today? Well, first, for anyone who hasn't joined us before, let me give you a quick introduction. My name is Jai Raja. I come from a long line of people from India, but I believe that we are all one. I believe that we are all part of a master energy source called Master Energy Source. Call it the ether, call it the oneness, call it the law of consciousness, call it the Tao Te Ching. It don't matter. The main thing I'm getting at is that you and I are each other. We are all each other. We're all one. There is no separation, no segregation from one in the very beginning. But guess what? It seems to me like consciousness has a sense of humor. Consciousness is funny because when we each get our own ego and our own identity, we forget that we are all one. Now, let me back up for a second here and just say that I don't believe necessarily that my way is the way. I'm not here to tell you that, my way is the best way, or I'm not here to say that, your way's not working. If your way's working for you, hey, more power to you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just so grateful for the wisdom that, at least what I see as wisdom that has been passed to me, seems to elevate my spirit, seems to be working for me to feel empowered and loving and feel like I am love itself and feel like we're all one and feel like we can rise above anything. There is nothing that we cannot accomplish. So because I have been blessed with feeling this way, because I have been blessed with getting to see the impact of making an impact on others, which in effect is making an impact on me, I just want to share it with you. And I hope that something speaks to you. And I just hope that there's something in this show and coming and hanging out and elevating with me that you get to take away that helps to build you up. Because guess what? If it doesn't build you up, it's not for you. It doesn't serve you. You know what I mean? Now, Facebook Live and YouTube Live. YouTube, I don't think you can really see this, but right here, we're going to burn some agarbatti. We're going to lace the room. We're going to bless the room, bless the aura. Because this time is all about elevating our spirit, elevating your spirit, which is my spirit. Setting intentions, coming together, sending love out to the world, getting real with ourselves, taking a look, questioning what truly is it that will make me feel like I am performing at max capability, full potential, soul turned on, baby. What will get me there? I just want us all to question that all the time. And if something is not building you up, I'm going to say this 1,000 times, let that shit go. What a perfect moment to say. I, from time to time, will use a word or two that is, let's say, adult explicit content. So mature audiences, parental advisory advised. Now, I always like to start our show off with some elevation, some meditation, some intention, tapping in with you. I like to practice that with some breathing techniques. If you've joined me in the past, then you know that I'm pretty crazy about pretty crazy just in general, right? I'm a little off the Richter, but also I love the Wim Hof breathing style. I love the lion's breath pose. I do yoga. I love leading my students in yoga. It's an ancient, sacred art form. It's a science that helps us connect mind, body, spirit to our purpose, connect to source. So that said, I would love it if you would tap in with me and let's feel a little more energy. What do you say? Find yourself in a nice, relaxed position. Feel your entire core inflate like the stars we are. Feel it at the top. Hold it. Feel what happens in your head in this avatar. When you fill it with so much oxygen and adrenaline that nothing can shake you. Does that mean we're not going to get rattled by the ones we love? No. Does that mean that we're always going to be nothing but sunshine and rainbows and smiles? No, I don't think so. But I believe from experience and my feelings through the eyes of this angle of consciousness that you know as Jai Raja, that it allows us to be our fullest expressions of spirit. And this to me is one of our great purposes, is to not feel fear. And unapologetically be us. We are pure consciousness, here to observe, not absorb, but observe. Spread your fingertips out, find a nice relaxed position, shoulders and shoulder blades back and down. Find a nice upright posture through your seat. Relax your eyelids. Stick your tongue out as you inhale through your center. Let all of that life force enter, widening the nostrils and slowly letting it naturally seep out through the mouth. Let that chest, heart, and lungs open up. Now, open your eyes nice and wide with the fingertips spread. Lion pose, baby. Practice the same style of breath, letting all of that life force, beautiful life force and energy enter through your core, right in the root chakra, in the base of the spine. Let it shoot all through the torso. Heart, chest, and lungs expanded. Tell me you don't feel power. Keep in your breath. I promise you, Wim Hof was not kidding when he said that filling our hearts, our lungs, and each cell of our body with so much oxygen and adrenaline that it acts as if it's already in some sort of traumatic situation. That just means we can handle anything. We just have to keep breathing, man. Don't hold your breath. Sending so much love out to you. See my face in your mind's eye. Come sit next to me in the ether. It only takes a couple of us. Sending love out to the world. All our brothers and sisters. That there may be no persecution for those doing right by others, who is just ourselves through another set of eyes. That we may help to build each other up. That we may stay in the stillness that is us. The Shiva of the nothingness. Zoom out from the thoughts that are getting you down. These are not for you. We are merely observing consciousness through one set of eyes, through one avatar in this everlasting moment. Now that we are elevated, beautiful elevated state, Mr. Day Peace, much love. Vimo Bukta, Jesse Rodriguez, Joseph Garcia, much love. Much love to YouTube, whoever's out there watching. Man, I'm fired up. I'm fired up. And I don't know if you can tell or not, but I'm fired up. Why am I fired up? I'm fired up because every single period after rest, which is what I call a day, every single one of them that I wake up and I keep practicing this routine, I keep jumping straight into providing impact. I get to feel more powerful. I get to feel more energy. I get to connect more with all of you amazings out there. I get so much love back. But guess what? It's not about that. I'm going to start today with that. You know, something that many of you know that I do is entrepreneurship. You know, one of the things I absolutely love is getting to provide value to our brothers and sisters without having someone else's mission, someone else's vision. It's our vision. You know what I'm saying? It's our vision. And this is a major source of light and joy in this time around on this earth for yours truly. And I believe very much in the power of connecting to purpose, connecting to something that we can provide value with to our brothers and sisters, that builds us up, that gets us super excited about life, super excited about doing what we're doing. You know, I understand that there's jobs out there, and I understand that, you know, for whatever the source of income is that you have, like, that's working for you, then that's working for you. But reality is, I think, at least just through the eyes, through this avatar, this time around, I believe that at some point, a lot of the jobs that have been created in industries are going to go away. And, you know, with that being the case, I think it would be extremely vital for us all to have a self-sourced stream of income, right? Let's go out and create it for ourselves, because not only for the fact of just making sure that we can feed our families, but also because if you've done this, you know what kind of satisfaction you get out of doing so. You know, there's nothing like waking up in the morning and knowing that every single feeling that we get through the day of how we can provide value, we can go with it. We don't have to check in with a boss. You know, we are people. We are people who absolutely know when we are doing right by others. And I believe that the majority of us always are trying to do right by others to the best of our abilities. So I don't believe in having to check in with someone to go provide value. You know what I mean? And I'm blessed and I don't have to. But I just want to preface with that to go into a quote. One of my favorite quotes is by Elon Musk. They asked Elon Musk, they said, you know, what words of encouragement would you have for a someone trying to be an entrepreneur, right? What words of encouragement do you have for them? And his response was, if you need words of encouragement, don't be an entrepreneur. And this speaks so highly to me because, you know, the greatest purposes, when we feel like we are providing our purpose that we're meant to provide, this life, this time around, this avatar, this set of eyes through consciousness, when we lock into that, man, there ain't shit no one can tell us, right? I mean, it's like, who could, like, why would we care? Because the thing is, no, not everyone's going to see the vision. It's not their vision, so they don't have to see it. It's our job to see our vision, right? It's our job to bring that to fruition. And so as a result, I completely can resonate with this. There's going to be people and moments and situations when it will be so easy to take a sidestep or take this tangent to providing the purpose just to make a dollar. No, man, when we know what we are providing, when we know we're providing value to others, to our brothers and sisters, and we care deeply about having an impact, there ain't shit no one can tell us. So, with that, I want to encourage us all to take a few moments. Let's do some meditation. Let's set some intention. Let's go into breath. Feel your eyelids get light. Gently closing. Feel that life force breath entering through the back body. And filling the chest, heart, and lungs with flow and peace and conviction and love. What impact are you meant to have on this world? Feel the wave of energy coming right from center, blowing up the entire avatar, inflating it like the stars we are. See your light shining bright. See your crown illuminated like the kings and queens we are. Together we are God. The power of connection. We are powerful beyond measure. We are grand manifestors. If we ever decide to recall a memory, that is the moment we bring it back into existence. Up until that moment, all memory from the history of the human race is sitting. You might call it the Akashic Records. You might call it consciousness. Might call it instant recall. Or perhaps you have a different belief and I would love to hear it. But the second we bring in a thought, we have a decision to make. It's like being at a four-way stop by a freeway entrance. Do we carry straight on down that road and allow that thought to become feelings and intention and manifestation? Are we simply visiting? Do we want to take the underpass and simply observe the logic on all sides of this thought? Not going into the emotion so as to not set intention or manifest? Or do we simply want to take a left or a right and completely switch gears? This is how I see it. Think with your heart. Feel with your heart. What is it that your heart truly desires? What brings you immense amounts of joy. What impact fills your soul? Let's stay in breath and allow this to marinate. Everything is a choice. If you're a journaler like I am, this would be a wonderful moment to hit your journal and write down what just came to you. That's wisdom from the Akash. That is your heart speaking. Now, some sacral chakra. This is to rid us of all fears. This is in relation to how we have confidence. Without fear, we are free. We are free to explore everything that our soul desires, everything that our heart desires. No fear, enjoyment of life. So for today's episode, I wanted to continue with teachings of Dr. Deepak Chopra. Of course, I am not, a licensed person, so I can't reproduce his materials, but I certainly will share the essence of his teachings because this man has made a profound impact on me. Almost everything he says resonates with my soul. He had a talk, and one of his big cornerstones is the causes of suffering, which we have visited in the past as well through the teachings of Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, the enlightened one. And they're a little bit different, the pillars. What he says is, number one, that human suffering is caused by not really knowing who I is, right? Who I is. So I is something, it is a term that we associate with so many different things, right? The mind, body, the ego, the activities that we physically are taking part in, the feelings, the thoughts. Whenever we, tell someone about a thought process we had, we say, I was thinking, da 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 da, or I feel, da 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 da. So this means that we are associating the word I with these thoughts, these feelings, and this body. Now, I'm not telling you that you are incorrect if that is your belief. If you prefer that belief, by all means, whatever works for you, that's great. But it is my belief that I is not the mind. I is not the body. I is not the emotions. Whenever I feel myself getting wrapped up in a thought process or getting offended, I like to go with, and again, there's the I, right? So the pureness, the stillness, the consciousness observing everything, the awareness, that is what Dr. Deepak Chopra and I believe, is that we are the pure consciousness, the pure stillness, the pure observer of consciousness. Something that has helped to further explain this is whenever a thought comes, we can actually take note of that, right? So we can observe a thought going on, not from a first person, but even from a third person view, right? It's like almost as if there's a storyteller narrating the thoughts and we can listen, right? But we don't hear it through these ears, or do we? Thoughts and feelings we seem to hear inside, right? But again, are we this? Are we this? The heart, the lungs? Are we the minds? That's for you to believe, for you to, have your own belief on. Again, I'm not here to tell you that my thought train is the right one or anything like that. I just want to share what I believe, and hopefully something helps to build you up. So Dr. Deepak Chopra says, not knowing who I is. And again, we can observe whenever the body has something going on, whenever our bodies are experiencing pain or tightness in a certain area, we can absolutely observe them. We become aware. So we are the pure awareness. So if we are the pure awareness, this is also, you can decide, but for me, I believe that the observing also works for memory, it works for thoughts, it works for feelings, it works for recognizing vibrations, the consciousness, the stillness. This is where we get to observe everything from, and then it's up to us whether we want to take on the vibration of a thought, of a feeling, anything of the sort, something going on in this physical avatar. Even, we get to choose whether we take that on or whether we simply observe without emotion and keep it moving. So this has been a massive remedy for me to get better and better every period after rest, with not being, full of unrest, right? Because if we are simply observing and then we get to decide what to do, this is probably like the elementary lesson that we all got that said, take a step back, stop, breathe, right? that goes into one of my big pillars, believing that the whole journey through consciousness is experienced through the breath. That is why breath work is so important to me. That's the stillness. Number two, he says, Dr. Deepak Chopra says, number two reason that humans suffer is grasping at something that is not graspable. So by this, what he means is, if time is purely a plane, right? It's one everlasting moment, potentially, right? Or one line of moment that are all together, right? We as humans have the tendency to try to grab onto things and we want to make them permanently ours. But each moment is a fresh moment, right? The ever-present moment. So trying to grasp onto something that's not graspable, for me, I would say some of these things would be things like even certain types of relationships. Are we meant to have just one partner? I don't know. Are we truly able to connect with one soul for the rest of eternity? I don't know. Perhaps. Jobs, for example. Is there any lesson to be pulled out of how much time we spend in a job before we move on? For anyone who has a job that you have felt like you make an impact on others, I believe you would probably agree that this is the single-handed reason why we want to stay in certain positions, is when we feel impact, which means that having a job to pay bills or having a job to, to take up the time, right? None of these things are truly real. They're all just figments of the imagination. There are things that we have made up because we have decided in this life, this time around, through the eyes, one set of eyes, one avatar, we have decided that that is the point of living, or we have decided that that is a essential. But is it really? Is it really? I just want us all to question that. He says number three is that we are afraid. We are afraid of something not being permanent. So the fear of losing something, which is made up in the mind, right? If we believe that we can actually own something, and I'm not talking about buying a house, I'm talking about things that are intangible, relationships, sources of power, sources of building up our spirit, things like this. Perhaps if someone believes that there's a hierarchy with people, anything like this. This is something where, to put that into words, I would say it's someone trying to grasp onto something. Well, Dr. Deepak Chopra's words is, trying to grasp onto something and being afraid of impermanence. So what is the opposite of that? That might tell us a strategy that Dr. Deepak Chopra is advising. So that would be to be okay, at least my perception, would be to be okay with and accept that everything is temporary, that everything is one moment, and that there is no such thing as permanent. The only constant is change. The universe is constantly doing this song and dance all around us, and if we are the stillness, if we embody the stillness, and embody and become the energy that we already are, just remember it, then we can be 100% okay, because we know that we cannot lose something that we do not have. We cannot lose something that was never ours. there is no such thing as ownership, right? So this is a lesson from Dr. Deepak Chopra that I completely believe in and wanted to pass along to you. Number 4, according to Deepak Chopra, is the ego. And this is a big one, right? For many of us. This self-identity, this mind-created character, this avatar, the mindset that I am what I do, or I am who I spend time with, or I am anything temporary, right? This is a cause of suffering. Why? Because then we get offended. We get offended by something not being in line with that. Maybe someone says something and it doesn't fall in line with what we believe our ego has defined us as. And now we get offended. And now all of a sudden we're in our minds thinking about all of these reasons why, this person's vibration is not, it's not my vibe. I'm not vibing with them, or, they have me fucked up or misunderstood. No, we have forgotten how powerful we are. We need to take back that power. And it is my experience that to do so, we must relinquish the facade of ownership. We must relinquish the facade that I am separate from you. We must relinquish the facade that one person can be on a different level, right? Or more or less valuable. Once we see everyone as one, there truly is no separation, no segregation. And this is the high vibe that I choose to be on whenever I possibly can. I'm not perfect. I would never say I am. I have my moments, but they're better and better all the time. And it takes less and less time for me to remember each time that I mess up. And it's okay to admit that we mess up. That's how we get to grow. He states that the fear of death is number 5, that human suffering comes as a result of the fear of death. And this is also something that resonates with me, because I don't know about you, but if you believe like I do that death is simply a moment of transition and that we are eternal beings, then we lose the fear of death. If we believe that we are all one and that we all return to the master energy source to hit playback on another set of eyes of consciousness the next time, whether it be through a human avatar or otherwise, perhaps a tree, perhaps the wind, I don't know. But if we believe that, if we believe there is more than just this, then it is my belief and experience that we can lose the fear of death and give that away. And hopefully, with that belief also comes the motivation and the inner fire to find what ignites your soul, so that we can spend every single moment doing what builds us up. Spend every single moment providing value that builds us up. Spend every single moment possible connecting with our brothers and sisters, to feel the power of love, to remember that we are love, we are light, we are pure energy. And we have the choice to spend these moments creating everlasting legacy, where our name will be said through all the halls of humanity long after we are gone. This is a choice. Will we clock in or tap in? Thanks, guys. This has been another episode of Question Everything with Jay Raj, and today it was my pleasure to show us, to just encourage you to think about some more of Dr. Deepak Chopra's teachings. It is a pleasure to pass these along, and I do hope that something has spoken to your soul and that you will message me with a question or post a comment on the YouTube video. And I wish you all nothing but an amazing rest of your period after rest, full of impact, full of love, full of light and reflection. Let's all spend some time today reflecting and journaling about what turns our soul on, what impact makes us feel empowered and powerful and like we are at max potential. The funny thing is, there is no max. It just keeps going and going and going because there is no limit to impact. So, brothers and sisters, please, if you're not already, get focused on impact. And if you are, salute light workers. Salute. I love you. Till next time.